So, good morning and welcome to our meditation, Monday morning meditation, beginning of a new theme for the week. And we're continuing kind of in the ongoing series on the basic foundations for meditation and the way we teach it here at IMC. And this week it's going to be talking about, or working with, practicing with thinking. And I'd like to use an analogy that is somehow you received a gift of an amazing 1,000-year-old clock with all kinds of gears, very, very precisely made and sophisticated, that has gears that keeps the time for nanoseconds and seconds and minutes and hours and days, the years including the leap years and the cycles of the moon, the seasons and light and dark through the year, centuries. So it's amazingly precisely made, and sophisticated math and arithmetic and engineering to make it all work and all the gears. And it's a great present. It's in awe of it. But then it turns out, after working perfectly for a while, one of the gears decides to go faster than everything else. And suddenly the gears start getting confused and not working properly, and we put under a lot of tension, and the whole clock doesn't seem to work very well anymore. It worked well for 1,000 years, but under your watch, one of the gears started up to go too fast. So we as human beings are even more sophisticated, complex system than such a complicated watch. Amazing amount of, interconnected parts of the human being that all have to work harmoniously for us to stay alive even. And it's a kind of it's amazing that we exist, and all that it takes to keep us going, all the interconnected, kind of complicated, deep gear work of this biological systems that we have. And there's one system, one of those gears, that if it works faster than the others, it kind of begins messing it all up. And that is our capacity to become tense. That anything that becomes tense, anything that begins working faster, makes it difficult for everything else to go smoother. And if we can relax the tension, then the whole system that we have begin to operate much, much more smoothly, emotionally, intellectually, biologically, physically, emotionally. All these begin to kind of come into kind of a more of a harmony, more working together. And so relaxing in meditation is really good. It's possible to focus on it too much. It's possible to, in a sense, get too relaxed. But in a sense, then some of those gears in the clock, stop working if they get too relaxed. But if there's identifiable tension in the system, in your body, it's really good to relax it. It helps the whole thing. So today we'll focus on relaxing the body, so that you prepare the ground so the mind can relax, the thinking mind. And I use an expression called the thinking muscle. And this is the activities of the mind that are constructing and spinning out thoughts. And our brain is also a complicated neurological event. And when there's tension there and something's working too fast there, that also kind of messes up the whole neurology of it all, the mind. And the thinking muscle is, you identify it by the physical manifestation of thinking. And if there's a lot of tense thinking, the jaw might be tight, the eyes might be locked, the forehead might be scrunched, there might be a lot of whirling and agitated energies in the skull and the area of the brain. The brain itself might feel contracted and tight. It might be other parts in the body that get activated, the muscles of the hands even, or the shoulders, the belly. And all those together I call the thinking muscle, especially the ones that are up in the head. So at some point to recognize the physicality of this and then relax. So assuming a meditation, a posture, and seeing if you take a posture that allows you to be alert, but also to be sensitive, be aware of where there's tension in your body. And the upright, cross-legged meditation posture is not required or needed for meditation, but it has some advantages. And one is that it is it's a posture that can reveal unnecessary tension, while not kind of relaxing and giving up or collapsing from it. To stay upright, reveal where it's tense in a healthy way, and begin to relax. Lowering your gaze, relaxing your focus of your eyes, and closing your eyes. And to enter into this body and mind that we're here with for this minutes, taking a few long, slow, calm, deep breaths. And as you breathe in deeply, really feel the global body, whatever is easy to feel of your body, the three-dimensionality of the body. And a long, slow exhale. Just letting go, relaxing, softening. Wherever in your body your mind lands, where you feel there's tension, let it soften. Breathing in and feeling the body, exhaling, relaxing. And then to let your breathing return to normal, and continuing as you exhale to gently, without ambition, relax your body. Exhaling and softening the muscles of the face. Sometimes feeling a coolness in the face can help relax the heat of tension. Maybe the coolness of the air around the face. On the exhale, to relax the shoulders, softening. Sometimes feeling the weight of the shoulders can help relaxing. Sometimes shifting where your hands are. If moving the hands someplace allows the shoulders to not be propped up, but to allow them to hang more. And as you exhale, to soften the belly. And maybe in the belly, if you feel the warmth there, if there is, perhaps the warmth of the belly can give a kind of comfort that supports some kind of relaxation. And then take a few moments to notice your thinking. For these moments, you have permission to think. And notice if your thinking is fast or slow, forceful or gentle. If your thinking is insistent or at ease. And if you think in images, is there a location for where those images occur, like on a screen? If you think in words or an inner voice, is there a location where that voice is coming from? There doesn't have to be a location, but if there is, sometimes it's possible to notice if there's any tension in that area, that location. There might be a physical association or manifestation of thinking, tightening, tension, pushing, pressure, contraction, something that feels stressful in the body connected to your thinking. And as you exhale, see if you can relax the thinking muscle. Relax the tension in your body that you associate with thinking. If there is a location for thinking, let the location get larger, spread out. Maybe like the surface of a lake, that the waves get quiet and the surface spreads flat out to the horizon. Sometimes a thinking mind has been working so long that it's tired, weary of all the ongoing thinking, often repetitive. To relax any ways in which you are investing in your thoughts. Relax even the interest that keeps you glued to thinking. Allowing thinking to become calmer and slower. And then returning now to breathing. Wherever you feel breathing most pronounced in your body, feel the inhales and the exhales. And gently, on the exhale, either let go of your thoughts or relax around your thinking. Relax your thinking mind. Feel your inhale and riding the exhale, relax the mind. On the exhale, relaxing the thinking mind. Softening, either feeling comforting warmth surrounding your thinking mind, or maybe you can imagine or feel coolness that relaxes an overheated mind. And for a minute or so, can you allow your thinking mind to become quiet? The kind of quiet you would have in a library or a cathedral or sacred grove of trees. A quiet where you would listen better. Let your mind, thinking mind, become quiet so you can listen better to your breathing. Hear. And then as we come to the end of the sitting, not only are we, individuals, a finely tuned biological system with all these interlocking gears, so we are socially as well, societally. And it turns out the society works best too if the individuals are relaxed, free of tension and stress. And to learn something new about being relaxed, free of tension, stress, from meditation. And considering how you can bring it into your social world. How can you not sacrifice your ease? How could you learn to recognize stress as it begins, tension? And remember how important it is to relax. And in doing so, it's our gift to our society. A gift, at least, that we don't contribute to the ongoing momentum of stress and tension that's so much part of many of our societies. But rather we contribute peace, calmness, care, love, respect. May it be that as we come out of this meditation, may we aspire that this meditation supports us in helping make this a better world for everyone. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. And may all beings be free. So, so this is the beginning of the 5-day series on mindfulness of thinking, and we'll follow the pattern we followed over these last weeks of relaxation, recognition, respect, restoration, and release. So there's a tendency in meditation circles to sometimes be frustrated around our thinking, or even worse, to sometimes thinking that thinking is our enemy, that it's a problem to think, and if I didn't think, then I could meditate. In mindfulness meditation, we are learning the art of bringing a clear awareness, clear attention to all aspects of our life. The inner life, the outer life, personal life, social life, and all that, but in meditation particularly, all the different parts that are become clear in the present moment, in our whole, psychophysical system that we are. And so one of the things that will stand out sooner or later, for some of us sooner rather than later, is how much thinking there is. Some days there's a lot going on in life, and we have a lot of concerns, and the mind can be going, really fast, spinning out. Sometimes it seems like the mind has a mind of its own. We're just like churning thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, and there's no chance to stop it. And so rather than making it an enemy, what we can do in mindfulness meditation, we turn our attention to be mindful of thinking. But the art of that is to make sure that the mindfulness is not thoughtfulness. It's not thinking about thinking. Some people will confuse mindfulness with thinking, that we're kind of thinking about what's happening in the present moment. And I'll talk a little bit more about that tomorrow, but we're not having discursive thoughts, we're not having commentary, interpretations, we're not, it's not like you're having a conversation with yourself about how you're thinking, what you're thinking about. There's a kind of almost a silent awareness that we're using in mindfulness. That kind of the silence that happens if you have a dirty windshield in a car and you clean the windshield now is clean and it's still silent. It doesn't speak or say anything, but you see through it. You see through that silence, see through that clarity, to see clearly what's on the other side. So the mind's ability to see or to sense quietly is the movement we're going. And so to listen, like you're listening to your thoughts, you're listening with a quiet mind, even though your thinking mind is busy. Or you're feeling. And some people find it very helpful with thinking to feel thinking. And in terms of relaxation, the physical sensations that we can feel connected to thinking can be really key. Sometimes it's difficult to see the physical connection between thinking and the muscles, and other times you can really feel it. There are times when I'm particularly sensitive and quiet that it feels like the mind is a puppeteer, and it's all these strings. I'm the puppet, kind of, all these strings coming down from the thinking mind, connected to all kinds of little muscles in my body. And they're all kind of like micro muscles are being pulled or tightened or released as I think about different things. Some thoughts are really powerful, resentments that maybe I have at some point, and I could feel my stomach pull up, or my shoulders go up, or I think about a wonderful conversation I had with a friend recently, and something releases, and the puppeteer has relaxed the muscles. I didn't even know I was tense or holding, but in thinking about this nice conversation, something, that's good, and I relax. And the more relaxed we become, the more we can feel these micro muscle strings tugging in all the muscles that go on. If we're really tense or really preoccupied in our thoughts so we can't notice our body, we won't have a clue what I'm talking about. chronic tension, where there's no relaxation at all, can become normal for people, and this is how it is, as if, this is the natural way to be. And there's no movement in the chronic tension for anything to relax. As people meditate, most people find slowly that the body relaxes. Um, some of the surface tension that we carry with us begins to soften and relax. And the same thing with the mind, that there's maybe the thinking doesn't stop, but thinking calms down, it gets slower. So I was want to emphasize again that we're not making thinking the problem, but rather we're turning our attention. When thinking is strong and when it's kind of captivating, we calmly turn our attention to be mindful of thinking itself. And the whole week will be spent talking about how we can be mindful of it in different ways. But what I want to emphasize today is we be mindful of the tensions there, the energetics of it, the stress, the forcefulness, the pressure, the contraction, the tightness, the insistence, the hesitation, the closed downness, the shutting down, the dullness, the numbness. All these things can be associated with thinking. And those things need our care. If we're distracted by the content of our thoughts and thinking the content is what's most important, we might miss the underlying kind of tension that is much closer in actually to who we really are. It's kind of like a deeper layer that doorway into the depth of who we are is not by thinking ourselves and remembering and figuring things out in our mind and reinterpreting the past. The way to really have a doorway into the heart, into the deep inner life, is this ability to relax. So when there's thinking and we're really pulled in the world of thoughts, one of the things that would be really helpful to learn to do, and it takes time, is to relax the interest in thoughts, to break the enchantment with the content of the thoughts. Some of us have had similar thoughts over and over and over again for years. The amount of repetition that goes on in many people's minds is kind of astounding. If people could hear any of us how often we think the same thing, they would wonder about, our sanity or something. It's normal enough to be repetitive, but it's also not necessary. But what's interesting for a meditator is to recognize that part of the reason there's a lot of repetition, part of the reason why there's often oneself is a central character or centrally involved in their thoughts, is that there's an intense interest in the content, interest in self and me, myself and mine. And so that interest, that investment can be felt distinct from the content of what we're thinking about. Sometimes I've had the feeling in my mind that I'm glued to my thinking, and I could feel the glue, or I could feel the bungee cord pulling me in to it close by. No matter what, it doesn't matter what I'm thinking about, I can feel the glue or the bungee cord or something that's there. And then to feel that tension. And sometimes you can relax it, but sometimes we can't relax the tension, the physical tension, the mental tension. You can't relax it as a will, as in something we do. But here's a real key to really long-term mindfulness meditation, to really find your way with it. And that is, it really helps if you have a willingness to allow yourself to be tense, allow yourself to feel the stress, the contraction, the pressure, as if it has permission to be there. It's okay, but hold it in awareness. And I love the image of two cupped hands that come underneath, where awareness and mindfulness is like two cupped hands that gently come along and hold the tension, hold the stress, kindly, supportively, and learn the patience so you can do that forever. Because some of the tensions that we carry within us um, are not really amenable to being directed or told to relax, or the we in charge. That's just one more time, sometimes one more insult that we're in charge, we're going to do something to this whole wonderful system we have. But if we can come with it respect and care and kindness and say, okay, here I am, I'll be with you for however long it takes. And and then amazingly, things begin to shift under that kind of attention. Something unexpected begins to relax. Something unexpected softens. And our job is to bring that attention that is soft, that attention that is kind and caring, and the attention that's slow, the attention that's not in a hurry or insistent, the attention that's not forcing the issue, or the attention which is not tense. So relax. Learn about your attention. Become a student of your attention. Maybe before you can relax, you have to really recognize and get to know it. And chances are that for most of us, there's more tension through the day than is necessary. And so to study the unnecessary tension and stress that's there in the body and the mind. And so in the next 24 hours, in preparation for the teachings tomorrow, you might think of yourself more of a student of tension than a student of relaxation. Get to know it well. But if you feel like you know it and have recognized, taken time to know it, then if it's easy to relax, please do. And maybe this can be a fun day of studying and hanging out with tension and relaxation, and see what happens if that's the subject of the day, the theme of the day for you. And then we'll continue tomorrow. And in some ways, this series I'm doing, starting with breath and body and emotions last week, and now with thinking, each of what preceded is building up towards our capacity to really work with thoughts. So mindfulness thinking is not meant for people who are beginners, but really have the foundation of these earlier types. And then what I'm going to talk about through the week is also builds on what precedes. So the relaxation supports what I'm going to talk about tomorrow, and so forth. So I say all this with the idea that I'm not expecting you to be able to do all this suddenly, like if you're a brand new beginner, but really it builds on the skills and the understandings that have been growing by ongoing meditation practice. So hopefully that's the case, and that this is supportive, and I look forward to tomorrow. Thank you.